Shout out to all the mathematicians. Shout out to all the financiers. Shout out to all the rocket scientists for solving solutions out of thin air. Yeah, there's this particular count. The idea of counting is linked to meditation. If you know how to count, and I don't mean simple numerology or simple numerical counting like 1, 2, 3, more than just knowing your numbers. This is more so dealing with the law of rhythm. So when we say counting, we're talking about the law of rhythm, a universal law. Or this is one way to express it. I'm not going to say that fully encapsulates it. I'm just using that to relay it. In this particular example of like when you count, when you have a meditation, or when you're pacing yourself in any way. See, there's a count at this light. What you heard, what you probably could see through my glasses, was different things happening in the intersection. Like somebody cut somebody off, almost hit another person. Somebody's count was off. Counting has a lot to do with timing. And what is timing? Again, timing is rhythm, right? And here's the beautiful thing about rhythm. Rhythm is not to be confused with tempo. In the rat race, in the idea of chasing the Joneses, these things can be related to you trying to adjust to somebody else's tempo. If they live in a kind of way and you want to catch up, and you're working double hard to capture that lifestyle, if that's your motive for trying to reach a particular kind of goal, then yeah, you'll find yourself getting caught up. You'll find yourself, getting caught up in the maze of things. The timing is everything. That's what they say, right? Timing is everything. What does the clock do? It ticks. It ticks and it tocks. The clock is so strong it came back in the form of an app. TikTok. That's a reference to the clock. That's letting you know what time it is. If you could see past the app, and I hear a lot of talk in regards to the app on many different levels with mad different vantage points. I myself am not a TikTok user, nor do I have a TikTok account, nor do I have the TikTok app. But I still understand that just the invention of TikTok is letting you know, it's trying to remind you of time. TikTok. Just the creation of it in and of itself. You don't have to have anything to do with it to get the message out of TikTok. It listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to the words TikTok. Listen to the homophone, right? Might be spelled different, sound the same, but a homophone. Spiritually, these two things can be blended. You can bend and mix and stretch definitions when you do it like that. When you're listening for the homophone or the homonym, really the homophone, things that I think sound alike, but it's spelled different and mean different things. I think that's the definition, if I'm not mistaken. So you got timing, the rhythm of things. This is in one of its, well, there's so many forms that I can't even equate a purity of form to timing, because when you deal with sports, that deals with timing, music deals with timing, work deals with timing, just punching the clock. Even if you got a regular 9 to 5, that still deals with timing. You still got to punch the clock. You punching in and you punching out. Either way, time is the beginning and at the close. And I want to snatch in something that I kind of missed on the Golden Snitch Harry Potter video. I wanted to talk about the phrase that was inscribed in the Golden Snitch, which says, "I open at the close." Very important statement right there. TikTok. Because when it comes down to rhythm and the law of rhythm, you're opening at the close of the day, at the close of history. at the closing of an era, you have to stay open-minded. For a lot of people, when they see the downfall of modern religion, because there really was a downfall of modern religion, that's not the thing anymore. I told you, we're in an occult age now entirely. You can find God in the occult. Yes, you can. Don't let these people Jesus you to death and try to scare you away from what Jesus said. He said, nah, man, the friend will come and this spirit will lead you into all truth. That don't mean just the 66 pages of the leather King James that you've been trained to carry, or the one book that represents your particular religion. No, he said all truth. That means if you pick up a newspaper, even if there's an article in it full of lies, you're still going to be able to find the truth, because you're not so much in pursuit of the truth. You just walk in the spirit of truth. You can see the truth in everything. You can see the truth in a lie. You can see the truth because you are for the truth. And so your timing and everything is set to the truth. That's how your timing is set, is adjusted that way. So that's how that goes. You got to get your you have to get your count up. The length of a count has a lot to do with the sustaining of meditational rhythm too, and flow, and being very, very managerial over your time in terms of second and time management as a thing, as a subject. Oh my goodness, you become a master of time management to the point where you can feel time. If you count and meditate enough, you can feel time. I'm telling you, you can feel time. It happens with me. Like sometimes I can feel the difference between 10 and 15 minutes. Like I can sometimes feel the difference. Like I can almost sense it. And this comes with being able to count and being experienced at counting. When they say time is money, you counting time is counting money. You counting up time, you counting money. You managing time, you manage your money. If one thing is said to be the same thing as the other, counting up is counting up. You could be counting up. You know what I mean? Think about that. If you're really counting up your time, it won't be long before you start counting up some money. Because with the counting up of time, there's going to be these ideas, these blossoming ideas that spring forth. Even if it's just to imagine a static scenario, in that scenario is plumage. Because you still had to get objects into your imagination, and those things had to be created. Thereby, that's what? The creative principle. So something grew, it's fertile. That was your count. And the longer you count, the stronger your count. This is why you do have certain creators that do talk about getting a high count number. Like you might be able to count up to 200 with unbroken focus. And I don't mean fast, but just in timing. And a lot of times the counting, like we said, and meditationally speaking, yes, is directly linked to the breathing. Try putting your hand on your pulse, whether it be near the jugular or at your wrist. Just gently place thumb or index finger there. And based on the rhythm of how that's beating, start counting. And you'll be right in your own circadian rhythm. What is this going to do? Equalize you. It's going to make you even more relaxed than you thought you ever could be. And it only takes a few seconds for it to come. One of the side effects is like a slight blushing. You're going to almost feel like goosebumps, like, wow, that wow factor. It's going to happen inside of nanoseconds. But this is all inside the count, remember? There's things to the left of the decimal and the right of the decimal. Is the stuff at the right of the decimal. That's where all of the action is in the neural synaptic firings that happen between tentacle and dendrite in the brain, and you being able to manipulate this and strengthen this. and being able to fashion your world to the point where you're doing real life magic without deception, magic with a K, kinetic magic. Like really taking something that is an illusion and making it real, where it's no longer an illusion, taking things from illusion to reality. Magic without the K is taking things from reality to an illusion, using mirror angles and sleight of hand tricks. But the true magician with a K, CK, kinetic, gives you the kinesis, gives you the connect, right? Remember, be homophonic, the homophone. All of this is inside of the timing, inside of the count. Nanoseconds, nanotech, nanobots, nana. Like the caretaker, the nana, the one who takes care of the children, like a nana. Or like a nanny, I should say. Like you're taking care of all of the youthful parts of yourself, of your psyche that's inexperienced. You're like a nanny to yourself. You're like a nanny to your psyche. You're picking your thoughts carefully. You're screening your thoughts. You're listening to yourself. You're observing yourself, examining yourself. Being a caretaker, being a nanny, right? You're not being a drill sergeant to yourself. You're not hard on yourself. That's going to pertain to certain situations when you got to be a general, a war general to yourself. That's a topic for another video. But as far as the simple counting and the adding, this is the law of rhythm. So again, this is Super T Sigma with Sigma Programming. I thank you for your time and attention. You already know reaching is teaching. In the meantime, continue to vibrate high, people. Peace.